every 6 days, next event that's going to dominate the news. The next event is May 3rd, which is tomorrow. The bombing. Right before that, 6 days before that, the shooting, the white supremacist shooting in San Diego. His name is John Professor Plum. And then the 21st was the shooting of the mosque, or the bombing. ISIS claiming responsibility. 6 days before that, the burning of the church, Notre Dame. And then the 30 days before that was the shooting in New Zealand, white supremacists killing 50. And then 6 days after the 15th, which is 321, is the beginning, and it's the in-between part. 321, and that's it. And then it's going to start with, once you get to April 15th, as far as I know right now, April 15th is all the major news dominating events have happened so far with these three right here. This one skated by. April 15th, I didn't think anything about it. I got caught off guard when people started mentioning the church burning. I'm like, oh, whatever. But then I started to really catch on that the 21st, which was over in Sri Lanka, and it was the 20th over here in America, that's where on March 22nd, I understood what the 30-day in between is going to be, the 30 days in between. And then on this date here, 321, it's official. So from over here in America, the 20th, evening, morning was the next event. But the one that's, like I said, the one that skipped by me was the burning of Notre Dame. Because this is before Notre Dame. My next event was April 20th. And that's what happened with the burning with the bombing of the mosque. So don't forget about the flood. It'll happen for 3 days, starting on the East Coast, wiping out New York, Florida. So I'll be on TV because that asteroid's going to hit the water on the East Coast, on the coastlines, and it's going to wipe us out. So this one here skated by. But from this point on, everything started making sense. Here's the bombing, as expected, on the 21st. With it being going into more churches and being ISIS taking responsibility for it. And it being bombs too.
Out of the mosque, he says, and you could hear him on camera saying that did not go to plan. I should have stayed longer. There was time for fuel. I would have liked to have burned the mosque to the ground. And as you could see from those very original shots, the car was full running and wet.
An SUV this big can get messy.
America and Israel are considered the two witnesses, according to the script. May 3rd, 2019, Iran drops bombs on Israel / America, fights back, two witnesses. So March 20th is when I had this vision of bombs being dropped on May 3rd. And because of that happening on May 3rd, then I expect World War III to be declared the self-same day. On the self-same day, March 20th is the same vision on the self-same day.
This weekend on is going to be talking about the war. Spin on it. Because when you see it's predictable, well, why not freaking make a prediction? So I'm doing another one. War will start on Saturday, the 7th of April. And
that the Syrian army had used chlorine in the town of Douma and killed up to 70 people. This is the reason why there is now wars and rumors of wars about World War III. Matthew 24, verse 6. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See ye that you're not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. This is the date that this passed by. April 7th, 2018. These are the bomb clouds. Here's Philadelphia. There's a church in Philadelphia. I mean, there's a lot of churches in Philadelphia, but there's a specific church that only holds 144,000 seats. So these clouds are coming a little early, about a day early. They are. It was only an hour ago. The bomb clouds. The bombs are heading our way.
Steve Benoon, you're watching Israeli News Live, and it has begun in Syria once again. The battles for Idlib is underway at this very hour, right?
So, it's happening in Syria once again. Listen closely to the words that he's talking.
Covering, I'm Steve Benoon, you're watching Israeli News Live, and it has begun in Syria.
It has begun.
Once again. The battles for Idlib is underway at this very hour right now. And Shalom Chavrim, I'm Steve Benoon, you're watching Israeli News Live, and it has begun in Syria once again. The battles for Idlib is underway at this very hour right now. And of course, the White Helmets and their propaganda campaign have already started in earnest as well. The White Helmets are reporting that the Syrian army is using barrel bombs, and of course the photos that they are showing are helicopters overhead, still photos, something mysteriously dropping, but of course no evidence of what hits the ground, only saying that the children are being killed.
Read between the lines. It hits that they're saying things are coming from the sky, like in other words, fire, bombs from the sky, and
is using barrel bombs, and of course the photos that they are showing are helicopters overhead, still photos, something mysteriously
dropping,
but of course no evidence of what hits the ground, only saying that the children are being killed.
This man's telling the truth right now.
On this particular video right here, they're also showing that that they're being struck, but in this video here, it of course contradicts what is happening according to the White Helmets, and the video shows that the Russian Su-34s are what is actually dropping the bombs that are hitting the ground. Russian and Syrian warplanes are launching heavy airstrikes in southern Idlib and also south of Homs, in that region of the world as well. We'll go to the map here in just a moment. Let me
Besides the bombs being real, of course, everything else, listen closely.
Give you this bird's eye view of what they're showing, some of the bombs being dropped now. It's pretty obvious just from the sound of the bomb coming in.
Oh, it's obvious. Are you kidding me?
Of what they're showing, some of the bombs being dropped now.
That's right. You know I'm going to Job 5:22. At destruction and famine you shall laugh, neither shall you be afraid of the beast of the earth. For you will be in league with the stones of the field, and the beast of the field shall be at peace with you. That's why you're not supposed to fear any beast of the earth, including the mark of the beast. because you shall know that your tabernacle shall be in peace, and you shall visit your habitation, and not sin. You also know that the seed shall be great, and your offspring as the grass of the earth. Because you're going to come to, the grave at a full age, like the shock of corn comes in a season. So we have searched it, so it is. Hear it and know it is all, well, it's laughable.
It's pretty obvious what they're showing some of the bombs being dropped now.
You see how they went like this? You see how the camera shook? The person shooting the film shook the camera.
And also south of Homs in that region of the world as well. We'll go to the map here in just a moment. Let me kind of give you this bird's eye view of what they're showing some of the bombs being dropped now.
He's trying not to laugh.
It's pretty obvious just from the sound of the bomb coming in. It's definitely not a barrel bomb being dropped from the sky. And we have another one there. I don't want to be the cameraman right about then. That looked like it struck close enough to shake his camera there pretty well.
Yeah, come on, man. Come on. Look, for the people that know, all right, he is mocking he's laughing at destruction. He knows from the inside. He's from the inside, and he knows because he's talking about the guy shaking his camera, and that's exactly what he did.
That looked like it struck close enough to shake his camera there pretty well. Let me see if I can't find you some of the information, though, that we've been looking at already here. Those strikes, by the way, are by Jabal Zawaya. And earlier today, the Al-Qaeda forces were already launching Grad rockets, 35 of those, at the Russian air base there in Latkia. I actually saw some of the footage of that. In fact, our cover video for this live broadcast is that very scenario that's happening. It says HGS preparing its fighters in urban warfare and guerrilla tactics by doing specialized training. That's in Idlib, Syria. And of course, here we have Daniel A. Adamson. The bombing of civilians in Syria fell off the news agenda so long ago, but this is still going on in Idlib day after day after day. White helmets, propaganda. Interesting, though, when I look at the names of the individuals help to support all the lies. Names of the individuals help to support all the lies. Interesting, though, when I look at the names of the individuals help to support all the lies.
No, sorry, Robin. Ron's not here yet, so we haven't fixed the wellhead yet. He's not coming. My dad just got back. My dad was down in Florida, so my dad will be up here shortly. And we're going to build a lift above the hole so that we can pull the pipe out. And when Ron gets here, we'll do all that. But sorry to disappoint you in your prophetic, all your wise prophetic knowledge, because you have none. You have none. What you
only be the Messiah. Messiah, which is the man. He's the man. Also, I'm telling you, Ryan, Adam, that only be the Messiah. Only be the Messiah. Only be the Messiah. Messiah, which is the man. He's the man. Father Heaven, he mocks the truth. Father Heaven, he. Father Heaven, he.
May 3rd, Friday. Everything happens on Back Friday on March into 4th. the weekend. Iran's going to drop bombs on us. At first, Steve is going to drop bombs on us because he's going to drop that truth bomb, because the truth will explode. It'll all backfire, but in their view, it's going to prosper and succeed because it will. It just, you know, for the sake of the elect, those days will be shortened. And so remember, May 3rd, on a Friday, Iran will drop bombs. And
it's a 30-day notice.
You know, America is going to be in some pretty bad shape.
I don't know how obvious that is to you guys, but if you just look at it, you'll get what I'm saying. This here is the map here. That is to you guys, but if you just look at it, you'll get what I'm saying.
I get what you're saying, Stephen Banu. That bomb was fake as hell.
This is the map here on LiveView map. What we're seeing now, all these bombs that are being dropped there. Idlib is what we're looking at here. We have Syrian-controlled area in the red. The green is this Idlib area that the U.S. and the Turks had worked out an agreement with Russia. Excuse me, not the U.S., but Russia and the Turks had agreed to make a buffer zone of safety to stop the conflict. It just never has happened. And on top of that, the United States has also been working on their own war in southern Syria. And I'm going to get that to you here in just a second here. Let me just go up over there to Maps Syria so that we can take a bird's eye view of what we're talking about. Here we go, right here. As we look at Syria right now, in the Homs area, which is, of course, south of the Idlib province, Homs is way down here. The Russian and Syrian Air Force have been striking Al-Qaeda targets down in there. Idlib is this province up in here. This is where there was a safe haven made, thanks to the Turkish government, with Russia going ahead and allowing this to be done. And of course, it has given a safe haven for terrorists. Unbelievable amount of a safe haven there as they're working in there. Unbelievable amount of a safe haven there as they're working in there. Latvia, the Russian Air Force base is right there. Also, their naval port is at Latvia, and this was being targeted by Al-Qaeda forces today. Now,
remember this date in history because it will live in infamy. May 2nd, 2019 is an absolute economic and physical declaration of a war with the Iranian government. But ultimately, and more bigly, 1 billion plus Chinese, billions of people in India, and a very capable nuclear-armed Russia, not to mention Iran, that have pointed missiles at the United States and every major city here in the good old USA. And at a moment's notice can launch that attack. And at a moment's notice can shut down this strait.
It will shut down this penis here that is going into a butthole. I mean, that's how I see it. You know, is it just me?
Causing war and causing oil and other commodities to skyrocket. Again, ask yourself the question, are you prepared? I'm Christopher Green.
Am I? What'd you say, Robin?
Iran's going to drop May 3rd, Friday. Everything happens on Friday into the weekend. Iran's going to drop bombs on us. At first, Steve is going to drop bombs on us because he's going to drop that truth bomb, because the truth will explode. It'll all backfire, but the same day.
Same day? AI is a little slow about that one. Well, I mean, he's saying it was declared today. You know, evening, morning, whatever. It's still May 3rd over in, let's see, Israel? Yeah, it is actually. Yeah. And even in Sri Lanka.
here's my arch rival, apparently, Stephen James DeShawn. He's still lying about me. It's crazy. So Daniel 9, chapter 9. All of the numbers in Daniel 9. In the first year of King Darius, he understood the years by the number of years by the books. The peace deal, the offer, when the olive leaf is plucked off, well, that'll be on May 24th, 2019. Or is that a new St. Peter's? Either way, I'm going with St. Peter's. In the end, being completely destroyed, probably just blown up by a missile. Who knows? From an airplane or something. And the Mecca building at the big square. I gotta look more into it to see what it's all about, but initially, the first thing that pops off my Uh-oh. It's time.
Nuclear missile test. Oh, but now this. North Korea, and these tensions should be, allegedly, they were going to de-escalate, have done the exact opposite. And Kim Jong-un, just moments ago, this is breaking across every major news wire around the world through a major provocation, just launched what appears to be another missile, a tactical.
April 19th, March 20th. I'm thinking April 7th. Till a few days later, North Korea and America begins fighting over missile launch to kickstart World War III. Closer. So what I was going to do is piece a few of my videos together, and it'll equal their script.
Robin, Ron's not here yet, so we haven't fixed the wellhead yet. He's not coming. My dad just got back. My dad was down in Florida, so my dad will be up here shortly. And we're going to build a lift above the hole so that we can pull the pipe out. And when Ron gets here, we'll do all that. But sorry to disappoint you in your prophetic, all your wise prophetic knowledge, because you have none. You have none. What you think, you're the epitome of the media. That's what you are. You're the epitome of the media. That's what you are. So, but this video isn't for Robin. It's for Gary Perry, brother Gary. I miss talking to you, Gary. You should call me sometime.
Yeah.
Maybe you could come up this summer and take some time off and come on up this summer and visit me up here in Michigan. And Brother Ron will be here. I'll be here. Juan will be here. And then I'm sure that there'll be others by then once we start the construction project that'll come to help. I'm sure there will be. In fact, I know there will be. So just wait for it, brother. Wait for it. But we're going to have a big old feast together, I'm sure of it. But I wanted to show you. This is my Harley right here. I do a refinance on the house. That way I'll get the money.
Okay, listen for the 4 taps coming up on the window.
To open up my Mexican restaurant. Refinance on the house. That way I'll get the money to open up my Mexican restaurant. And we're going to...
Now this is from a few weeks from April 22nd. So what I'm seeing the pattern being now is from April 20th, which was the mosque in Lanka, 20th over here in America. Then the 27th is 7 days later. which is the 27th, the script for today. So the next script is going to be 6 days from that point, which is May 3rd. May 3rd. May 3rd. 6 days. Here's the next event.
The day, I think historians and intellectuals will look back at this as the reason and the crux in the road that caused World War III with Iran. And no, that is not hyperbole. That is not exaggeration, because all we have to look back to is history of the past. Understand what's happened before, and as people have famously said, Mark Twain, history doesn't always repeat itself, but it does rhyme. And today, on May 2nd, 2019, the U.S. launches plan officially to choke off all of Iran's oil supply.
Don't forget about another possibility of one of Trump's towers being a target from ISIS. Now, either one of these can be switched with the timeline. Then May 3rd, Iran, the king of the Prince of Grisha, whoever the Prince of Grisha is going to really start to destroy.
Officially to choke off all of Iran's oil. And today, on May 2nd, 2019, the U.S. launches plan officially to choke off all of Iran's oil supply and all of their oil and energy exports to the rest of the world. Now, what's important about this is who's the largest buyer of Iranian oil? China. China. Billions of Chinese. So they are very, very pissed off about this. And again, the United States placed a similar oil embargo, an embargo on goods and services on Japan, which resulted in this, the bombing of Pearl Harbor and World War II. Their actual cohesiveness. And of course, we see this in China as well, which is making them such a rising empire, which through the ages has risen and fallen. It's important to keep in mind that the United States has not been around that long. Now, I want to go and read you a quote from Samuel Adams, and it's a shame how dumbed down Americans are. They don't know their history at all. They learn dates and random facts, but they learn dates and it's a shame how dumbed down Americans are. They don't know their history at all. They learn dates and
May 3rd, Friday. Everything happens on Friday into the weekend. Iran's going to drop bombs on us. I'm thinking that it'll be a shooting in another church. Well, now, isn't that exactly what happened with the next script on April 27, 2019, which was after Passover? That's exactly what happened in that church, which was another shooting by... All right. So it's Professor Plum. He's up next. All right, Professor Plum, he's a white supremacist, and he's going to use a revolver, okay?
They are separate communities. What are the plans ahead now? I mean, I know your town has to grieve. The mayor said that you will stand shoulder to shoulder. All residents of Poway will stand shoulder to shoulder as you address this tragedy. What happens now?
You know, I can't really answer that, other than to say that I know that
I can answer that.
must take place.
What happened?
You know, I can't really answer that, other than to say that I know that
I can answer that.
must take place.
What happens next?
I don't.
Rabbi Goldstein is certainly one of the individuals who, from what we know from law enforcement, has survived this shooting. But once this guy started shooting there and the Border Patrol officer took action, it is my understanding that congregants also took action. The guy, this 19-year-old white male, ran out, got in his car, was driving.
To carry a semi-automatic rifle into a church, you know, a synagogue full of unarmed people and open fire, and some of those people not reacted the way they did it.
Oh, absolutely, John. All we need to do is just think about till this day, 6 months ago.
This is dominating the news.
Covering the Tree of Life shooting in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, at a synagogue where many died.
Goodness.
So, there, as you said, John, and I agree, it could have been a lot worse. It's sad, it's worse, even if one person is injured. And now, as we know and it's been reported, a human life or a person has died.
And it sounds like the police, you know, the sheriff's deputies there, and that.
Is it me or does he sound like a sheep? Is he mocking a sheep?
Border Patrol agent just had a magnificent response. And it sounds like the police. And it sounds like the police, you know, the sheriff's deputies there,
Yeah,
and that
he
Border
is.
Patrol agent just had a magnificent response. Border Patrol agent just had a magnificent response in terms of, you know, keeping an ear on the scanner and keeping.
Well, now it's half.
We're outside front of our house and heard about 6 gunshots. A pause, some yelling, and then another 6 or 7 gunshots.
What's the reference? I've seen this reference. And now, well, because there's 3 events that happen. I'm seeing the third 6 happen before it happens. Now I'm getting ready to see the 4th 6 in a row. Because these 2 before this was the bombing in Sri Lanka and the burning of the church of Notre Dame.